Hey y'all, today's video I just wanted to do on kind of my dad's story, because I think with this Can-Am the engineers have designed something that they thought was cool, but in the end I think it's really made a big difference in people's lives, and I know for a fact personally it's made a big difference in my dad's life. Tell me, Pops, I mean everybody recognizes that you run on forearm canes there and you have trouble getting around. How did all that happen? What started that?
Back Labor Day of 1967, I was involved in a motorcycle accident and had a compression fracture of the T, 4th and 5th vertebrae, and I pretty much had 7 doctors that told me I'd never be back out of bed again. But
They told you never walk.
Yeah, and they said that you know, I just know that the Lord was merciful enough to me where He granted me a second chance.
Second, more than one.
Yeah.
Go walk again.
Yeah.
What? So I mean, my love of hot rods comes from you. All right. I mean, that's, folks. You want to know why I'm car crazy, motorcycle crazy? It's because this man right here. And so, you're a young guy. What were you at the time?
I was 22.
22 years old.
Yeah, just turned 22. Yeah.
Good job. Everything's going your way.
Oh yeah, I had to. Basically, financially, I had the world by the tail.
So did you hit a car or something?
No, a friend of mine, you know, we were young and foolish, and we were on road bikes, and we wanted to do some off-roading, and we had run through the woods, and we had raced 3 times, and I beat him the first 2 times. The last time we went through, and we ran into, my bike bogged a little bit on the takeoff, and we went into the first corner on the dirt, and he was throwing a lot of dirt off of the back wheel, and I just didn't want to get hit in the face. So I had slowed down and leaned into the corner, and a little tree stump caught my foot peg and took me off the path and went into a V-shaped tree and pretty much did a somersault over the handlebars and landed on my neck.
Landed on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
Was the bike totaled?
Not at all. I think there was like less than $50 damage to the bike.
Holy cow.
Got the headlight, and that was just about it.
So your buddy calls an ambulance, they come out there, back braces, neck braces, any of that. They just threw you on a soft stretcher and rolled you to the hospital.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
And it's my understanding that even after you'd been there several hours laying on your back, the doctor came in and said nothing's wrong with you.
Exactly. And I told them I can't make anything move, and so they took me down for a second set of x-rays, and that's when they saw some damage up to the upper spinal.
Where is the damage exactly?
Right between the shoulder blades.
I got you.
Yeah, T3 and 4.
I got you. So 40 years goes, you raise a kid that's a motorhead, he has motorcycles, you see everybody having fun. I know that you were able to ride with your buddy Bob, and I even got you on my 4-wheeler, and you rode snowmobiles, so you got to know, folks, he was stretching the bounds of what he was able to try to do. But then you're sitting around the house one day, or well, how do you come across the Can-Am?
I was doing some errands, and I was going out one of the roads, and I saw one coming down the opposite way, and some gal was driving it, and I'd never seen one before, and I tried to make a U-turn to catch her, but there was no way into the sun. I caught up with her, and I've got a nephew that's a motorcycle freak.
Right.
And I told him, I said, man, I saw the coolest thing the other day, Mark. It had 2 wheels in the front, and his words to me, he said, I'll tell you what, Uncle Jim, he said, that's that new Can-Am Spyder.
Right.
And I went out to take a look at it, and that's the weekend that you came into town, and we went out to look at them together.
Yeah, my dad called me and told me about this thing, and I looked it up, and I was like, that's cool. But, you know, Dad's been very frugal all of his life, so I thought there's no way he's going to spend the money on this motorcycle. And, you know, he's always been a little bit shy when it comes to his handicap and then walking in front of people in public and things like that. So I just really would have loved to seen him do it, but I didn't think he was going to do it. And so we went out to a Honda dealership, right? And let me tell you, folks, he couldn't get out of the car fast enough. He walked straight up to it, said, can I get on it? Next thing you know, he was sitting in the seat, and, you know, started talking day in and day out. Called me, I don't know, a month or so later. You didn't wait very long. And then you said he'd bought one.
I just knew that when I slid down into it, I knew I was bitten by the bug that
You're
day.
back home again.
I was going to get one if I had to mortgage the house.
So tell me, has it made a difference in your life, you suppose?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah, it opened up a window for me that I thought was shut forever.
Right.
And it's given me basically a group of guys.
Right.
You know, it's upper quality people that I get to hang with.
Put you back in action again.
Yeah, took me off the couch watching TV, put me out going to the Dairy Queen on a motorcycle for ice cream.
You ride it all the time.
Absolutely.
How many now how many miles did you put on your?
It's 2 years old, and I just turned over 12,200 today.
On your Grand Prix, though, you got a car during the summertime. What are you averaging on that?
Last year, from the month of April to November, I had put 202 miles in the car.
Holy cow! All that time.
Yes, that car's going to be worth some money someday.
That's what I'm hoping for.
I'm afraid my kid will get the benefit.
That's what I'm hoping for. I hope it's a collector's item. So, tell me what the feeling was like when you first got on it to ride it. The first time when it was yours and you knew that you hit that key. What was the feeling like when that bike started to vibrate underneath you again?
Only a motorhead can experience it. I mean, it's just a feeling, and when you first crack that throttle and feel that torque and that muscle. And I ride with a lot of Harley owners, and I've loved the sound of a Harley, but they just didn't have anything that would work for me.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, when you turn 110 ponies loose, it gives you a rush that...
What's the weight of this thing?
Less than 700 pounds.
And it's got 110 horse. So it's less than 7 pounds per horsepower.
Correct.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
How's it? It handles real well.
Yeah, it's got power steering. This one happens to have the automatic transmission. It's got reverse. And I go out with my buddies, and I haven't had to put my kickstand down yet.
So it get a lot of attention?
I've had Corvettes, I've had Z28s, I've driven Trans Ams, and I've never had anything that gets the attention that this thing gets.
I bet. It's very cool.
My buddies all get impatient with me because every time we stop, there's somebody talking and they're waiting on me so we can get going. So I can break off the conversation.
So you hold everybody up because of the crowd you gather.
Yeah, we went through Pigeon Forge at the car show last night. And we were driving down Pigeon Forge, so I was getting more looks than what the cars parked on the curb was getting.
So you go through this accident, and obviously the family and the church and everybody's praying for you. What kind of reaction do you get from the people at church when you come pulling up on it 4 years later?
The church were more receptive than I thought. It was my family that thought I was crazy.
Right.
Especially both my sisters.
Right. Yeah.
My oldest sister, she's what gives me the most grief.
I gotcha. Now myself, folks, I will tell you that I really think that this thing has changed my dad's life. I know that before he got this, that he did spend a lot of time on the couch, you know, and now I can check my weather on my phone. If it's nice, I know he's out riding. And
better than to even try to call him.
Yeah, right. So if you could say anything to the people of the Can-Am, the designers of it, what would you tell them?
Well, I'd like for them to invite me up there because I can show them what improvements need to be made.
Typical American. You almost got it right.
Yeah, you know how the Canadians are.
You almost got it right. Let me tell you what you could have done to make it better. I got you. So that's a big deal, though. And like I said, for me, even for me, you know, I know that I wouldn't want to not be able to ride motorcycles ever again.
I think the plus is the window that the window of opportunity that gave me to just hang out with the guys that I get to hang out with.
So now you're what, part of the Hells Angels?
What's your group name, Teddy? Hell's Nemesis? Yeah, but I officially haven't bought my patch yet.
You're not patched in yet? They want to wrestle with you in the front yard before they let you do that?
Him and his dad are debating because we are church people.
I got you. Well, that's very cool. Anything else you want to tell people out there?
No, I just say that everybody needs to get one.
Everybody. So you get less attention where you go and you can have a little more fun.
Yeah,
people
I
holding
can
you
have
up.
more free time to ride it, yeah.
Well, brother, I appreciate you sharing the story with me, and I can't, like I said, I myself, I'm a big supporter of it and what you're doing, and I mean, I've always been proud of you, but I just think this is very cool that you've taken the step and you're out there riding around, and I know, you know, I mean, you turned the clock back 20 years for you.
Absolutely.
At least.
Yep, scrubbed a lot of years off.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you're everywhere when I talk to you, and you were nowhere before. You're always at home, you know? But now it's like, you know, like I said, the Dairy Queen, you're at a lot of restaurants.
Yeah, there'll be Sundays, I'll get a phone call from one of the gentlemen that I ride with. I'll get a phone call on the Sunday. We're thinking about going for a ride. We may go 40 miles just to get some ice cream and turn around and come back home.
Is it hard for you to hold yourself up on this thing?
Not at all. I thought it was going to be, but it's like anything else. Once you go through that learning curve on what works for you and what doesn't work for you, but we rode the tail of the dragon twice, and I tried to shake the little guy, but still couldn't shake him.
Gotcha.
So.
What is there anything that you know, as far as accessibility, that's a problem for you, or have you mastered it all by now?
Pretty much so.
I mean, before you used to take a gas can so that you didn't have to climb on and off of it to fill the gas up. You keep gas at home to do that.
Yeah.
But you've told me now it's gotten so easy for you, you don't do that no more.
And I tell you what, I can honestly say that the guys really watch out for me. You know?
Right.
You know, we've done some pretty heavy-duty riding this year, and I can say that I'm pretty much out of steam at the end of the day. And
right.
They see that I'm taken care of.
Right. I got you. How many miles is the most you put on a day, you know?
I think the most single day was just a little over 300.
Wow.
Yeah, it was up through Michigan, went through past the old MIS racetrack up there in Coldwater. So that was a long day, and that was the first year I had the bike, and I can honestly say that I was never so glad to see the garage before in my whole life. The next 2 days I slept on my side because my bottom was too sore to sit on.
Now, one thing we didn't mention on the other videos on this is you've done something to the handlebars.
I did. I raised them a total of 4 inches.
4 inches. Now, is that standard? Is that something you did?
No, the 1 inch rise was from BRP because they make a kit for 1 inch, and then it was aftermarket for the additional 3.
I got you. Was that hard to do?
No, time consuming, but not hard.
I got you. All right. Well, brother, I appreciate you sharing your story with me. And like I said, myself, obviously, I'm ecstatic to see you riding again. But the other thing is, too, is I think that whoever designed this Can-Am, whoever came up with it, I think they've really made a game changer.
I'd like to. I could say I'd love to have the opportunity to meet the engineer that did it, because I'd like to shake his hand.
Thank him.
I sure know it changed my life.
Sure. All right. Well, I sure appreciate it, Dad.
I appreciate
Y'all be careful. Thanks.